Previously on the last Pokemon challenge. Quite frankly, I would be happy if they acted like lemmings and all took a long walk off a very short cliff. And coming up, sometimes I need to engage my brain before opening my mouth. Today on Pokémon FireRed, we run a bird that looks suspiciously like a toilet. Welcome back to the 4 Moves Challenge. This is the series where we take a Pokemon, we give it 4 moves, and we see just how quickly we can beat to the game. And today we are running Pelipper. Pelipper is an absolutely fantastic Pokemon. One of the weirdest designs ever. Its belly extends into its bum. Its belly is also its beak. And it kind of looks like a bog. What more can you really ask for out of one of the early generation Pokemon designs? It's also a fairly good Pokemon. Not the worst stats in the world. Not the strongest, but definitely not the weakest. And the only real issue is its glaring 4 times weakness to the electric type. And our third gym is going to be the electric type, so we'll have to see just how much that matters. Now, I've given the rival the Squirtle line on this one. I could have given him any of the 3 lines and we would have had a counter in some form. But I thought the Squirtle line makes sense. It's kind of mutual resistance for the most part there, but I did end up then putting Shockwave on our Pokemon. I've gone for Surf and Ice Beam as our other 2 attacking moves. Makes sense. Surf is strong, Ice Beam's got very good coverage. And then for the third move slot, I've gone for Rain Dance. I like Rain Dance. I think it's very underused, especially by me in the 4 Moves Challenge. But it will give us that much needed boost from time to time with our water type moves, which could come in useful, you know. We'll have to see if that move ever gets used throughout the course of this one. I am still learning Fire Red. I don't have that gut instinct in me yet. That's something that I will be working on in here and also in Pokemon Emerald. Because you do have to remember, 4 years ago, I was completely new to Crystal solo running, really. I'd done a few in 2021, but then I didn't seriously get into it until the summer of 2022. So I'm doing the exact same thing now, only with 2 games instead of 1, in the Generation 3 challenges instead. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, there's going to be a lot of learning, and much like we did with Crystal, I'm going to do first attempts for all the challenges. That way we get to see the progression in real time. Especially now that I've settled with the 4 moves format, I think this is going to give a very fun twist on what is starting to get a bit of a fatigued format, let's be honest, with solo running. But having all 4 moves from the start and then being locked into them adds a fresh layer of strategy. And I think that strategy definitely works out in its favour in a game like this, which is a very simple game. It's probably the most basic a Pokemon game can ever be, at least in terms of the main series RPGs. So I think adding that little bit of flavour will give us a whole new lease of life here in Generation 3 Kanto. And with that, we are already in to our first gym together. This one will be easy. We've got a stab super effective move, and both of Brock's Pokemon are 4 times weak. So he sends out his Geodude, it goes away. We're probably going to get outsped by the Onix. It crits with a tackle, and that is that for Brock. Boulder Badge acquired in a time of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Good stuff, that's what we like to see. Let's go and grab some repels here so that we don't end up attracting a bunch of wild Pokemon and slowing the run down. We also get the running shoes, don't particularly use them too often though, because I've got a turbo button that I hold on my controller, and if I press it while running, I end up doing some kind of weird hopping thing. And I don't ever want to do some kind of weird hopping thing because it looks terrible on the recordings. So I'll try and avoid using the running shoes and we'll just go straight for the bike. Forgot the bike voucher in the last challenge, but it didn't lose us too much time overall. But it is in my brain now, it is fresh, I am thinking about it, and hopefully I don't get too distracted between here and Vermilion City. In theory, there's only 1 town to go between those 2, those being Cerulean, but of course we've got that weird route up at the north of Cerulean, one of very few dead ends in all of Pokemon. In fact, can you think of any of the other dead ends? I can think of at least one in Sinnoh, one in Unova, and maybe one in Kalos, although technically the Kalos one might not be a proper true dead end. Let me know if you can know the others. see if our brains match up. We're going to get the Persimmon Berry, and then we are going to go straight into Mount Moon now. Stick on those repels, and let's hope we don't... Nope, that's a ladder. We don't want to go down there. That's another ladder. I seem to have my ladder magnet shoes on today. I should really change those for going through caves. Otherwise, we're just going to end up in an infinite loop. Now, there is a rocket here that I don't want to face. I don't think it's worth taking on the rockets, quite honestly. They aren't good experience. Even in this first game, they were a bit naff. So we'll only do the one mandatory. I do kind of wish they'd have kept in Jesse and James from Yellow here in FireRed, but they didn't bother with that. This is more of a remake of the Red and Green, I want to say, not Red and Japanese Blue, because I think those games are slightly different in places. Although I've never played the Japanese ones, so I couldn't tell you the actual differences between what we see as our first Gen 1 and what's the true, I suppose, for lack of a better term, Gen 1 original games actually were. With that, we have made it into Cerulean City. We're going to do a quick PP heal after we get the Rental Abra. The Rental Abra, by the way, is our surrogate for catching an Abra. Here in the 4 Moves Challenge, the only Pokemon we'll have in our party is our Pelipper in this instance. So that means that we will only ever have that one Pokemon, but that also means we're not going to be able to use HMs. So the payoff for that is that we have items that will act as surrogate HMs instead. I'm going to try Misty before Rival 2 here, because I think Misty might be a little bit easier than Rival 2. We do have a super effective move, and we can give her a go. Let's see, this is Misty. She is the Water type specialist, leads with Staryu. You got to think as well, we are going to resist her main attacking moves. And I was considering Water Pulse actually in place of Shockwave, but in the end I decided against Water Pulse because I didn't want the 2 of 1 type. We got a very, very unlucky crit hitting us there from Starmie. And was that another critical hit? She is playing with Gen 1 crits here. I think we can't do Misty. It was worth a go. Let's leave. Let's go to Rival 2. Surely he'll be easier. This time he's going to lead with his Pidgeotto. We have Keen Eye, by the way. That means that we don't have to worry about accuracy drops. It's an absolute bloody miracle. No need to worry about accuracy in the slightest. So that means his Sand Attack is completely meaningless. Yeah, Rival 2 was the better play there. Should have seen it, really, but I thought we could get the second badge fairly quickly. Still, only 2 resets, and both of those did have critical hits. Then, of course, the Rival did critters as well, but fortunately it was with a Pokemon that can't do too much to us. We'll keep on going up north on this route now, battling all the trainers on real Nugget Bridge as opposed to fake Nugget Bridge in the Gen 2 games, and I'm hoping that we'll have a fairly quick run up to Bill. So yeah, Bill has separated from his Clefairy like he always does at this point of the challenge, and that does mean that we can start making our way back. I was wondering if those 2 were trainers, but they are not. So let's Rental Abra all the way back to the Pokemon Center here. We'll do a very quick heal, and then I think it's time for going in for round 2 with Misty. Ding ding back in your corners. Let's see how we do this time. She still leads with Staryu. We one-shot this time, growing up to level 24 rather, not level 71. And it's going to be a 3-shot, hopefully, on this Starmie. Haha! You didn't confuse us this time. That is something I always get frustrated with Misty. She has a real penchant for confusing us. 10 minutes 29 for the Cascade badge. We've done our heal. I don't think we picked up the rare candy yet, so let's pick that up now. Maybe I did. Maybe I just muscle memoried that. Looks like I did. Brilliant. That means that that's something committed to a muscle memory. Always good to know. There is a way to verify as well. Next time we go in the bag, I will just do a quick check. Make sure I'm not going completely fakakta and I'm misremembering the spot where the rare candy is. Yep, we got it. Good, good, good. Let's now go down through Routes 5, one of the most pointless routes in all of Pokemon. Although I think Route 7 might be even more pointless here in Kanto. And while I remember, we'll get the second rare candy that is hiding just here. Now, I do want to take on a few extra trainers on this one in preparation for Mr. Lieutenant Surge. We do have all these Pokemon here on trainers on Route 6, I want to say. Think this is Route 6. But if we are still struggling with Surge, we do have a route number 11 as well. The numbering scheme for the Kanto routes, it's so bad. Why are they numbered the way they are? If you know, genuinely, I would love to know the logic behind it. Because it can't be sequential order for the intended routes of the game. It seems like they're trying to use Saffron as some kind of hub for some of the route numbering. But then why is Saffron all the way for 5, 6, 7 and 8 as opposed to being 1, 2, 3 and 4? Why do we have 25 up north past Cerulean and then we go for the lower numbered routes near Victory Road off Route 2? It's all so confusing and it hurts my brain, and I don't like my brain being hurt. I think I mentioned it in the Hoenn region actually. At least the Hoenn numbers for the most part make sense, and I really like the symmetry of Hoenn having an equal number of water and land routes, which I know some people don't like the water routes in Hoenn, but I really am quite fond of it. I do want to try and take on a couple of extra trainers in here as well. I am terrified of the electric type gym. I know Surf is a very strong move, but I don't think we're going to survive much from Lieutenant Surge. So we will take on just a couple of extra trainers. You never know, we might get some useful items like Brick Break that means nothing in this game. While we're here, we will go and do our regular bin surfing. We'll get one of those, and one of those. And you know what? Let's just go and straight away face the rival. How bad can he be? I'm sure he'll be fine. He leads with Pidgeotto. We'll use an Ice Beam. It goes down in 1 as we grow up to 27. We'll use Surf on the Raticate. It's another 1 hit. Kadabra this time is a 1 hit as well. And then we'll use Shockwave on the Wartortle. He gets another crit, but that's it for the rival. And we do get through. Let's get ourselves the Scythe from the captain of the boat. And now we've got a quick decision to make. Do we want to try and battle anyone else really quickly? I don't really know the locations of the trainers in this SSN, so I'm just going to try and get a couple more battles done. It doesn't seem like they're particularly high leveled though, so it might not be the most useful thing to do. We'll take on some Growlithe though, they're going to be easy. And I was considering, by the way, having a flying type move on our Pelipper, but then I thought, with how bad physical attacking is in Generation 3 Kanto, it would be better to just completely ignore the flying type and go straight for any other type of move instead, like the Shockwave and Ice Beam. Let's try some of these trainers here in Surge's Gym. This will give me a good idea of how well we're doing. I did forget to heal off the SSN, so that might be an issue. But if we bury our heads in the sand enough, it won't be an issue. That's the way I'm playing it anyway. We outspeed Voltorb, that's a very good sign. We'll Surf on the Magnemite, and then what do we have in the way of heals? Do we have any heals? No, we don't. Pokemon time. Let us chop through there. Pokemon's right here. What can we buy? We can buy a few of those. Let us use a Super Potion now. How many PP do we've got? We've got 4, 7, and then not any more for our attacks. That's fine. I think we've only got 2 more trainers left to go. Starting here with Gentleman Tucker. He changed his name to Eggy Greggy, I think, for the Generation 2 games. And now let's see how bad is Surge. Next gym leader, Electric type specialist, led with Voltorb, went down in 1. We'll Surf on the Pikachu, it also goes down in 1. And we don't, oh dear, we don't one-shot against the Raichu. That's what I was worried about. Sonic Boom is fine. We're going to set up a Rain Dance. Hopefully this will tip the balance in our favour. Does it? It does. Brilliant. Already feeling vindicated about Rain Dance there. Time of 15:58 for the Thunder Badge. Now we're not going to go into the Pokemon Center here. Instead we're going to go into Diglett's Cave. Stick on another Repel and start running through. There is a chance we might encounter a Dugtrio or 2 on the way, but I'm hoping that we don't, because that will slow us down, because they have Arena Trap. And Arena Trap is an absolutely foul ability. It's genuinely disgusting. There we go, we do our lie. We'll get ourselves the lantern. We haven't caught 15 species of Pokemon, we've just hacked our decks to make it seem like we have. I'll get the ether, and then we don't need a paralysis heal, but it is useful just in case of emergency. We'll go and heal now in Cerulean City, and because we picked up the bike voucher, we can ride the bicycle now for the rest of the challenge. So we'll do that, and we'll also do that above the Teach TV, register the bike, and away we go. Out of the town with bad town design for one final time. Scythe works, and we can start making our way onwards across route number 9. I love avoiding this route in Pokemon Crystal, but I don't think you can avoid it here in the Gen 3 games. I don't think there's any way I can exploit the system to allow me to skip this route, which would be brilliant because it's a very long and tedious route. And do you remember, oh, it was 12 years ago, do you remember the infamous Route 9 ledge with Twitch Plays Pokemon? I was so invested at that at the time. I just remember the amount of celebrations I had when we finally got over the Route 9 ledge. That was in a very, very previous life that I enjoyed Twitch Plays Pokemon, but I kind of wish someone would do something to recapture the magic that we saw back then, because it was such a fun thing to witness. We'll get our third rare candy of the run here, and then we'll take a cheeky little pit stop in the Pokemon Center. Let us chop down this tree, and I'll make my way through Rock Tunnel. I'm at the point now where I'm starting to feel confident with the gameplay. Like, I'm starting to not have to think about what I'm doing, and I can focus more on talking. You may have noticed today I've been a little bit stuttery, a little bit stumbly. I think that's a combination of high anxiety, because my anxiety's been quite bad the last day or so, combined with playing a new game. But I'm thinking that I'm getting the confidence with FireRed. Never really had the confidence, even when we did it semi-regularly before. But I don't know what it is. I've taken to it like a pelican to water in this particular time round. I'm really, really feeling like 4 moves is what I needed to unlock this game for me. And to have my brain go, actually, you know what? Instead of another Crystal run, you could put a FireRed run there. Still not 100% sold on Emerald, though, I've got to say. I got through the Alakazam video. Don't get me wrong. Oh, that was a bad tummy cramp. I hope it didn't come up on camera, or on microphone, I should say. Don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy Emerald. I'm just not sure if I enjoy it that much for solo running. I'm going to give it a fair shot, though. It might just be because it's longer, it's more intimidating, there's more stuff that can go wrong. But it might end up being the C game. At the moment, I think Crystal and FireRed might end up being joint A games, so I prioritise both of them equally. And then we'll have our Pokemon Crystal butt stuff, which will... Oh, I beg your pardon. Our Pokemon... Sometimes I need to engage my brain before opening my mouth. Our Pokemon Crystal butt series. That series where we play Pokemon Crystal, but there is a bit of a twist somewhere in the challenge. That will definitely be an ongoing series. In fact, I'm due to record the next one in just a couple of days' time. Following that, I think Emerald and Supermon. Supermon is very stressful. It's very, very, very difficult to record, but I do want to get back onto it. Meganium's going to be the first. I've rooted it out, and I think it's going to be a very, very, very good run. If I play it correctly, that is. And if the luck goes our way, we do get Swords Dance, I do believe, on our Meganium. So that could prove to be quite a positive run for a type that does struggle in Generation 2 in general, doesn't it? The Grass type. Now, I've ended up in the Grass type gym for some reason. I'm meant to do the Rocket section now, but I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. We should be fairly fine against these Grass type trainers, and in fact, I reckon it would be worth doing a few rounds of trainers in here, because we will get a lot of good experience. And one thing I'm trying to prioritise when it comes to training in this game is going for those places where there is a high density of trainers If you look here, there are several trainers all around Erica. So while they may not provide the greatest amount of experience on their own, in one solid block of experience points, all grouped together, they are very, very, very good. And of course, we don't have to use Ice Beam on some of the weaker Pokemon. We can take a hit or two perfectly fine. I think we've got 4 more trainers, Erica inclusive, that we can take on. Oh, goodness me, Mary's got a lot of Pokemon. We'll try using Surf for the most part here. Oh, that's a bit mean. We got that Paralyze heal, though, didn't we? So after this battle, we can cure our paralysis. Growth would be scary if we didn't one-shot that Weeping Bell. Sweet Scent doesn't really mean too much. It seems like that's all she's spamming. We had the same turn, 3 goes in a row then, and there's an Ivysaur for good measure, just to finish things off. How many Ice Beam PP do we have? We've only got 4 Ice Beam PP left. We'll use a Paralyze heal, and you know what? I will use this Ether on Ice Beam now so that we can take on the other trainers. Spending a little bit of time now because we know just how difficult the Pokemon League is here in Generation 3. So I do think... Oh, no, we don't want to battle you quite yet, Erica. Hold your horses. We've got an Execute to deal with first. And then I can't remember if we took on the bottom left trainer. But there's an easy way to find out. Yes, yes, I did. Now it's your time, Erica. You are Gym Leader number 4. You're a Grass type specialist. You lead with Weeping Bell. 1 hit on the Weeping Bell growing up to level 38. Tangela goes away in 1 as well. Here comes Vileplume. There goes Vileplume. What a nice and easy battle. That means we can chop down the tree. We get her badge in a time of 26 minutes and 4 seconds. And now we can take on the Rockets. Doesn't really matter the ordering for those two. You can do them in any interchangeable order. You don't even have to do Erica now. You can save her for a little bit, but I like having the air balloon. So I will now go into this horrible spinny underground section, and we'll meet back up when we find the boss, and we will battle him. And with that, we have made it to Giovanni for the first time in this challenge. He's going to lead with Onix. We'll use an Ice Beam on the Onix, and we'll one-hit it. We'll use Ice Beam against the Rhyhorn as well, and then we'll swap to Surf for the Kangaskhan. Lovely critical hit there, growing up to level 41. And Giovanni's reign of terror, at least temporarily, is over. Let's use our Key Escape Rope to get the heck out of here a little bit quicker than we otherwise would do. Gonna do another quick PP pit stop here in the Pokemon Center. And then I'm gonna unlock Saffron City now. We're not doing anything in Saffron at the moment, but I do want to go over to the Pokemarts here. We're going to sell all the crap that we don't need that's easily sellable, and we're going to get a bunch of Max Repels really early. I think a bunch of Max Repels will come in incredibly handy on this challenge. We don't need that. We've got the Key Escape Rope, and let's just buy as many as we can afford. 76 sounds like a very, very good number of Max Repels, and we should also now have the Air Balloon. So if we use that, we can get ourselves over to Lavender Town once more. Gonna heal in here, not that we need to this time. And we're going to start ascending the Pokemon Tower. Now, I do think it's very, very, very rude that in between Generation 1 and Generation 2, for whatever reason, they decided to rip out the Pokemon Tower and turn it into a radio tower. And I'm thinking, if I've buried my very, very dear companion Pokemon in a tower to begin with, if it's then going to be ripped up and, well, everyone's just going to share a teeny tiny floor in a adjacent building, I would be so furious. Wouldn't you? Because, like, that just seems really disrespectful and kind of distasteful, if you ask me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's me being a little bit oversensitive about how I would feel if my beloved friend had passed away and then wasn't able to stay in their final resting place. But yeah, it's always struck a bit of a wrong chord with me, and I think when I go back to ROM hacking to create an actual hack and not just the challenge run patch, I'm going to do something about that. I'm going to try and rebuild the radio tower somewhere else so that the original Pokemon Tower can remain intact, preferably without people battling their other Pokemon in front of the Pokemon here. But we have reached the top. We will help this poor, poor Marowak descend into the afterlife. Do know we are going to look out for your Cubone and all your other relatives, Marowak. You are perfectly safe in our hands. I don't know if you can catch that Marowak. I don't think you can. I kind of wish you could catch the Marowak and maybe have some way of bringing it back to life, kind of in a pseudo Colosseum XD kind of style. That would have been fun. But then I don't think they were thinking of those kind of mechanics for the core series games. I think they wanted the GameCube games to be a little bit edgier, maybe a little bit rough around the edges, because these games, barring like the gambling, of course, they are very, very, very family friendly. We have reached the top of the tower now. We have chatted with Mr. Fuji, and that means we can go back to Celadon City. Another quick PP heal because we are chewing through our PP here. And now we'll go west. Wake up the bear. This is where I always think my game has crashed because it's very, very slow and I don't have game sound. And we're on the bike. One of them caught us so far. Black Belt Lau with his Grimer. Ooh, we don't one-shot with Shockwave. Interesting. We should one-shot the coughing though, surely. And that's it for them. Oh dear, the repel wore off at just the wrong point there. Hug the left for a little bit. I know there's going to be an item we want down here. Is it this sign or is it this sign? It's one of the signs. There is definitely an item. We'll get rid of this Primeape and we'll get rid of the Machoke. And then we will go very quickly back up to try and get the item that I know is here somewhere. It's a rare candy. There we go. Got that one. And then there should be a Max Ether, or a Max Elixir rather, somewhere around here. Just there. Those are the two items I like picking up on cycling roads. Sometimes I get a PP up as well, but that PP up is really, really out of the way. Come on, bike movement. Need to get better with the bike. It's a shorter tap here because you've got quicker acceleration between Generation 2 and Generation 3. And let us not forget to stick on a Max Repel in here so that we don't get any unwanted encounters. I've done really well with the Safari Zone so far. I think I'm 2 for 2 on semi-perfect movement, i.e. remembering the route, just taking a slightly wrong turn as opposed to getting completely lost. So I'm happy with that. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. I think the first item we want is going to be here. That's the gold teeth. Then the next item we want is going to be the raft, just in here. That was not a bad little Safari Zone. Happy with that one. We'll retire and then we'll scam the air balloon and movement by just flying directly to Fuchsia City itself. That way we don't have to concern ourselves with going the correct way around. Now, I was very mean to some trainers in this gym last time, and I can't guarantee I won't be the same way this time with the trainers in the gym. I cannot stand this gym. I think it's one of the worst. We took a lot of damage there from Psychic from that Hypno. Can we do much better against the Drowsy? Yes, we can. Another Drowsy comes out. We're fine with that. Kadabra, Surf, yep, crits, one-shots, and another Drowsy. That's not too shabby. I think we're going to try and get our Super Potions up towards the top as well now. Going to try and avoid leaving if we can, because leaving is very, very, very frustrating. It wastes so much time, especially in a gym like this one. Probably am going to leave once though, just to replenish our Surf PP, while it is still a straight line, and then we'll take on some more trainers. I'm not that concerned either at the moment about doing minimum trainers required to get through the run, because that league is terrifying me. After the experience in the last FireRed challenge, I am very much erring on the side of caution, and I'm actively taking on trainers who I skipped with Arcanine. As part of the learning experience, I'll probably overcorrect the other way, but then we can start fine-tuning our approach to FireRed, and it's getting me so excited to see exactly how we'll do in a couple of months' time even. I reckon in a couple of years we'll have this nailed down like we have Crystal if I keep persevering at it. But it all depends on whether my brain can cooperate with the game. We didn't get poisoned there, thank goodness. That does mean we've got the Rain Dance boost for the rest of this battle, and Rain Dance may have saved the day there. Koga is defeated. Time of 36 minutes and 28 seconds. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. How the hell do we get out of here? Just like that is how we get out of here. What do we need to do now? Probably air balloon over to Pallet's Town. And we have a gym with a type advantage coming up. Let's go. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Blaine, you're not going to know what's coming for you. And I'm really excited to see just how badly we can destroy him. I love Blaine, but also he's a right cocky git, isn't he? So if we can take him down a peg or two, even bloomin' better. Let's do a very, very quick PP pit stop in here. And we shall go into the mansion. Repel wore off in quite a good place. There are only a couple of things I want to pick up in here. And the first is going to be going up here. Did that repel wear off? Yes, it did. And then we shall press the switch. We've got to battle this dude with his Magnemite, because I want to pick up the rare candy that's hiding behind here. This rare candy could come in fairly useful, you know. So we'll grab this one. It's just about here. And then we'll go down this hole. We'll walk to the left to avoid him. And then we only need the secret key here. So we'll press the switch from the front. We'll avoid him. And then if we hug the left, we avoid this trainer as well. We do need to go and switch this switch though, don't we? Because then that should get the wall open. I thought we'd risk it and just walk here without sticking on another rappel. And we did get punished. We'll use this bag escape rope because it's the first one I had. And we can move in to our next gym. Racing through this game now. This is Blaine's Fire-type gym. I always take on all the trainers in here unless we're weak to the Fire-type. So I don't think this is going to be any exception whatsoever. It should be a complete clean sweep. Probably going to do a Rain Dance strat against Blaine himself just to be extra safe. And much like with Koga's gym, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a very quick PP heal now in the hope that then I can maybe scam my way through with some lower powered shockwaves so that we'll have enough surf to see us through to the end of this gym. We'll try it against the Ponyta, absolutely not. Although maybe actually with a couple of healing items. What about the Charmander? Or if we can't do that on Charmander, then we should probably just suck it up and go for a second heal. I think that will be quicker. And yes, we could skip these trainers, but why would I skip these trainers when all of them are just free experience? It's like 5 seconds for some of these battles, and we are getting a lot of levels. We're even one-shotting Rapidash, which isn't surprising, but it is very pleasant to see. Poor old Vulpix here gets completely drowned, as does the Growlithe. And once again, because we are a special attacker, we don't need to concern ourselves with Intimidate in the slightest. So that is a huge relief as well. But with that, we are through the trainers. We've got 7 Surfs. Let's take on Blaine. He is our next gym leader. He's a Fire-type specialist, leads with Growlithe. We're going to use Rain Dance. That nerfs the Fire Blast. And it also buffs our Water-type moves. I am hoping for 4 one-shots here. That would be ideal. Let's see if it happens. It does happen. Not even a chance to healing loop Blaine. We get ourselves a Volcano badge in 40 minutes and 2 seconds. Let's get out of here. Let's decline talking with Bill because really we don't give a crap what he says. And we will get ourselves back to Saffron City now. We're kind of close to the end game already, actually. Not too much left to do. We've got one last fairly short rocket section if I can find Silphco. We've got Sabrina, we've got Giovanni, and then we've got the end with Victory Road, the Elites 4, and the Champion Battle. So yeah, not too much to do at all left in this one. I will do a little bit of housekeeping, pick up some of the items that I've missed, but I've picked up most of them en route today. I've gone to the wrong blooming floor first, although we do need to battle him in a moment. We need to go to 5F first, and then let me get my bearings. It's down here. We'll talk to him because we end up battling him anyway. He's only got an Arbok. Not exactly a scary Pokemon to come up against. We go up and down. We get ourselves the card key. Then we do the same bloody movement again. We avoid him. Oh, 3F. We can do that. Because then we can open up this. And here is the rival. How are we for HP? Let's see. We are at full HP. Brilliant. Let's take him on. This is the next rival battle. He leads with Pidgeot. One hit on the Pidgeot with Ice Beam. Here comes a Growlithe. There goes a Growlithe. Up next is going to be Execute. We'll Ice Beam the Execute to the face. We'll use a Surf on the Alakazam, and that just leaves Blastoise left to go. Shockwave crits, and he just has a terrible time of it. Goodness me, not going to whinge at that. That was a really easy battle. That might have been the easiest rival in Sylph we have ever had together in FireRed. Our Pelipper is genuinely astounding me. I did not think we would be on this kind of pace with Pelipper, but Pelipper is doing very, very well. Let's hope that we can keep this up. We do have a favourable type matchup with Giovanni here. We do get fake outs, which is annoying more than anything else. It doesn't really mean anything. And then we can one-shot the Nidoqueen. Brilliant. Through Giovanni for the second time. We'll get ourselves the Master Ball, and then we shall leave Silphco. Is there a lift here? Do we have a lift anywhere? I would like a lift, please. Because there is one more thing we need to pick up in Silphco. And I think I know where it is. Down here, it's not that one, that's an Ultra Ball. Rare Candy. And we'll get the Carbos as well. Can we use the Carbos? No, we can't. Bum, we are out of EVs for this one. What am I doing? We can just escape rope out, can't we? That's much better. Let's go and do another quick PP heal. And then we'll go into Sabrina's gym next. She is going to be our 7th gym leader together today. She is, of course, a Psychic type specialist. And I genuinely don't know how this one's going to go. Because she does have a fair amount of special bulk behind her. Let's see. She leads with Kadabra. I'm going to set up a Rain Dance. Reflect. Waste of a turn for you there, Sabrina. Because that means we can now get to sweeping. Venomoth goes down. She's only got Alakazam left. Do we one-shot? We absolutely bloody do. Another easy gym. Very, very good stuff. Sabrina is done in 43 minutes and 29 seconds. We've only got one gym left to go now, and this one, I can't see it being an issue. Because our next gym is the ground-type gym. Let's see how we get on here. Let's get in there. The hardest part might actually be doing the movement to get into the gym. Now, we don't need to face him. We do need to face this dude, however. He's got a bunch of Pokemon, unfortunately. But they should all be fairly easy KOs. Going to stick to Ice Beam for a few of these, just because it's super effective and we can save our Surfs for the main event, which is going to be our final gym leader. We do have a black belt in the way as well, though. He shouldn't be too bad. We will use a couple of Surfs here, just to be safe and just to be sure. Just like that, we are through him. Let's reset the room and then let us take on Giovanni. He is our final gym leader. He is a ground type specialist and he's going to lead with Rhyhorn. Ice Beam's a one-shot on the Rhyhorn as we grow up to 53. We'll swap to Surf for the level 50 Rhyhorn. We'll Surf on the Dugtrio. Interesting, we outsped that thing. We outspeed the Nidoqueen and we are going to outspeed and one-hit the Nidoking. That was really, really, really good. TM26 acquired. That means we are now almost ready for the Pokemon League. There are a couple of bits, though, that I haven't picked up in the course of this challenge, so I'll do those and I'll meet you when it's time for the rival. Housekeeping done for another challenge. That means we can now face our 5th and final rival battle. He lives right about here, and he's going to lead with Pidgeot. I've picked up a couple of PP up, so we now have 14 PP in our Ice Beam, which is a much more acceptable number. Although I don't think we'll be using Ice Beam too much for the rest of this battle, barring on the Execute. One-shot City so far, out comes the Alakazam. Ice Beam was disabled, but that's fine. We were going to use Surf anyway. Onto the Blastoise we go. Shockwave doesn't do too much, but it is enough for us to 3-shot the Blastoise. There we go, through the rival for one last time. Let's stick on the Max Repel and let's start making our way through Victory Road. We just about get over the most difficult ledge in all of the challenge here. And I am going to keep my eye out for any of those funky looking grass tiles that indicate that there is a berry hidden, just like here. That's a leper berry, always useful to have. We like PP restoration items here. That does mean we are able to survive the league a little bit longer than we otherwise would have been able to. So hopefully that will come in handy at some point, and it is, of course, a held item too. We get the Aspia Berry there, not quite sure what that one does. Nothing there. There is the full restore here. Repel has worn off now, which is annoying, but nothing too terrible. And then we have the citrus berry there. With that, we are in Victory Road. This Victory Road, I think now that I've played both Hoenn and Kanto, it is the more annoying of the two. Because at least in Hoenn, there's a really nice and quick short way through. And you don't have to do all these bloody strength boulders. They get right on my nerves. Did I pick up the correct item? Yes, I did. It's always 50-50 for that one. It will never, ever be committed to memory as to whether I am going for the correct item or not there. But thank goodness in this instance we did. If strength rather persisted between rooms, it would be significantly less egregious doing this Victory Road as well. It's the fact that you keep having to activate it, and one step after a repel and you're pretty much guaranteed to get an encounter. It's getting on my nerves, this Victory Road, but it's not the worst place we go through in all of Pokemon. I'm sure there are far, far worse places that we do have to navigate. And it isn't too hard to remember the routing either. It's just long and a little bit tedious. It's long and tedious, but it isn't very hard. We do that, and this is the one where I always struggle, because you then got to go around this lady here, and then around this pair of miscreants, and you drop this boulder down, which is then able to be pushed this way. Our repel's going to run out. Yep. Getting a sense of where the repels wear out as well is super handy as well, because that means I can prepare, I can then stop. I went the wrong way then. I can prepare and stop in time so that I then don't make an additional extra step, which can be a real issue in a solo run, because then you end up with encounters, as we've seen. Is it this way? Yes, it is. And we are at Victory Road. That wasn't, or should I say the Indigo Plateau. That wasn't too terrible for a Victory Road. Let's now buy our full restores. We're going to buy a bunch of them. In fact, how many can we buy? We can buy, unlucky for some, 13. We can start clearing out some of the bag, just in case we do need to do any kind of route resetting, blackout training is what I mean there. I want to spend all the money now. So let us buy even more of those, down to 2,000 Pokédollars. That's absolutely fine. Gonna drop a hard save. Gonna also then drop a save state. And we're gonna use all 10, or 11 rather, rare candies all at once. I think we might need them just to get through Agatha. I think she's gonna be a right pain in the bum. She is a horrible... Agatha? Lorelei. First one, this lady. She is brutal. Oh, she's got a title card today. Hallelujah, things are working. We one-shot her Dugong with a critical hit. We one-shot her Cloyster. Out comes Slowbro. It's going to be a 3-shot here, probably, because of that amnesia. We don't get frozen by Ice Beam, but we aren't... Oh, not bloody Yawn. Oh, I'd rather have been frozen. Oh, we're going to have to take a reset here, probably, I think. Surf when one-shot the Jinx, yeah. Kind of expected. Do we have a Chesto Berry? A Mint Berry, I should say. Yes, we do. We'll give it to our Lou. I was holding on to the Mystic Water, but I think the Mint Berry might be better. Let's start off with a Shockwave against the Dugong. So it is a 2-shot naturally on the Dugong. Good to know. Cloyster goes down in 1. We don't need to worry about that. Nice on the Slowbro. Do we get a better range this time? No, we do not, unfortunately. Kind of annoying, but I'm hoping she goes for Yawn. She doesn't. We're on 108 now for the Jinx. Let's set up a Surf. She's going to go for Ice Punch. We 2-shot it. We've got 58 for the Lapras. Shockwave does a fair amount of damage, but I have a feeling, yep, Ice Beam does knock us out. Lorelei is vicious. I don't think there are no two ways about this. Lorelei is a real wall. She's very, very defensively orientated. She's good at her job. She's just annoying for us. I'm going to give it one more go here. I'm going to set up Rain Dance here. We'll do the Rain Dance Shuffle. Yep, that's fine, Cloyster. You do that. And see if that makes any difference at all. I am also wondering if we can get through this Slowbro. No, we can't. I tell you what. I'm going to try and get one more level, and then we'll try again, because it is so close. So I ended up getting a couple more levels there. We're now at level 68. We'll give Lorelei another go. First league member, Ice Type Specialist, leads with Dugong. I just went east of Fuchsia and ended up getting a lot more levels than I thought I would from just the first set of trainers there. So we'll see if this does help at all with the Slowbro. It's looking like it doesn't at the moment, but we can deal just about with Yawn. No, we can't, because we don't have the right Hailed Item anymore. We've got the Mystic Water back on. That was a misclick and a half, wasn't it? Let's keep trying. I think we just need to high roll the Slowbro. If we can get rid of the Slowbro in 2 hits, then we should be good to go. My controller just did all kinds of weird things then, and I don't know what it did. So let's hope it doesn't do it again. On to the Cloyster. We know that's going to be a 1 hit. How about this Slowbro? Critical hit. That'll do. Up next is Jinx. We're going to surf. She uses Lovely Kiss. Ugh. Hopefully we don't take too much damage from this Jinx. It's a long sleep as well. Oh, bloody hell. Item, give. Berry case. Chesto berry. Let's try again. I've realised I've got the same issue on the overlay as I did with the other overlay with items. So I do need to go and fix that at some point. Not right now though, not mid-challenge. That would be a silly idea. Let's try and get through this Slowbro. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, never mind. It was a 1-turn freeze. That's fine. Rain Dance. Oh, why are you going straight in for Ice Punch? That's awful of you. Oh, no. Keep on trying. There's definitely a solution to Lorelei. And the solution is for her AI to work in our favour. I was expecting a Protect then. Spikes is fine though. Can deal with Spikes. Another 1-turn freeze. Ha! Get scammed. That should mean we can one-shot. No, we can't one-shot the Jinx. But she is healing looping. It's probably a range on that. Well, we know it's a range on that Jinx. Can we survive another Ice Beam? No, we can't. Bloody hell. I think we are just getting really bad luck here. Safeguard is what we want there against the Dugong. Safeguard is fine. Amnesia, do we high roll? No, we bloody don't. Oh, this is so frustrating. It's like we have the win condition, it's just not letting us get it. Can we one-shot Jinx this time? Yes, we can. Onto the Lapras. Shockwave. Ice Beam. Shockwave. Ice Beam, don't heal. Oh, for goodness sake. No. No, no, no. I don't know if we do have the win condition, actually, or if I need to go and get a couple more levels again. Might need to get a couple more levels again. Maybe the Citrus Berry would help. A crit definitely would help. She's getting so scammy with that Ice Beam, isn't she? You know what, we've only got 1 Citrus Berry, but I'm willing to sacrifice it here. The League is going to be the part where I do need to do most of the learning, especially Lorelei. Like, she is so difficult as an initial League member compared to some of the others, who are generally a lot easier. I think Lorelei is the hardest of the 4 Pokemon League members. Surely we one-shot there. Or 2-shot, I should say. Onto the Jinx. Surf, please, high roll. Yes. This is the best situation we've been in for Lapras yet. And we're frozen and confused. Oh. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Yes, we're through, though. Take that, Lorelei. Get yourself in the bin. What time was that for Lorelei in the end? It was 1 hour and 52 seconds. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. We'll give the Mystic Water back now. And we'll take on Bruno. Next league member leads with Onyx. Easy start here. 1 shot on the Onyx. Hitmonchan comes out to play. Rock Tomb lowers our speed. That tells me we should Rain Dance against the Onyx. Rock Tomb isn't an accurate move. It does hit, but that's fine, because I don't think we're going to take excessive amounts of damage. And we still outspeed the Hitmonchan. Out comes the Machamp. Surf does one-shot courtesy of the rain. That leaves Hitmonlee and the other Onyx to go. We are getting through Bruno. Very good stuff. 2 down, 2 to go. We're going to use an Elixir at this point. Full restore. And we'll take on Agatha. She is our 3rd Elite Four member. She leads with Gengar. Oh, Confuse Ray's mean. I don't know. Do we have a berry that can heal Confusion? Do we have a berry that can heal Confusion? Lift Confusion? Yes, the Persim berry is what we are after here. We'll swap it with the Mystic Water and we'll take her on. Agatha is League member number 3. She leads with Gengar. Oh, double team, aren't you feeling fancy now? One shot on the Gengar. Out comes the Golbat. We'll use an Ice Beam. It goes away. Arbok is 3rd. The rain keeps falling. Surf is a comfortable one hit there. And Surf is a one hit against her Gengar as well. Last Pokemon's Haunter. Feeble finish for Agatha. And we do defeat her. And that brings us to everybody's favourite liar with the Flyers. It is Lance time. He is supposedly a Dragon-type specialist, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. Shockwave time. Shockwave makes it disappear. Scaradactyl's next. Ancient Power does get the Omniboost, goodness me. And it's still a one-shot. Sucks to be you, Lance. Ice Beam on your Dragonair. Come on, send your other one out. Ice Beam, get in the bin. Last Pokemon is Dragonite. Quad super effective Ice Beam finishes it off. And that is Lance defeated. One more battle to go. We are having a much, much, much smoother league than last time. Max Elixir. And we will hold on to the Lumberry here. I think that's going to be the best item for this battle. Hard save in case we change our mind. And in we go. Final battle of the challenge. This is our rival and he leads with Pidgeot. I'm going to do a Rain Dance. And then I'm going to do an Ice Beam. Get rid of it. Rhydon's next. Surf. One shot. Easy, easy, easy. Come on, send your Alakazam out. This is why I Rain Danced. Yep, it's a one shot. Executor comes out to play. We'll use an Ice Beam on the Executor. Lumberry kicks in. He's healing looping now on his Executor. We don't mind him wasting his heals here. And we can move on to the Arcanine. We're just going to surf all over that. It goes away in one hit. Last Pokemon is Blastoise. He's used Rain Dance. We'll use a Shockwave. We critical hit and we win in a time of 1:04.12. I made that. Let's take a look at the leaderboards. And that run clocks in 2nd place on our FireRed 4 Moves leaderboard. Just behind Gardevoir there, under 30 seconds between them. I'm really happy with that run for Pelipper. If we take a look at the overall leaderboard now, we have usurped Kyogre into 2nd place there on our FireRed leaderboard. And it is not even close. That is just shy of 10 minutes ahead of Kyogre. And that does push Feraligatr down into the page 1 drop zone. Linoon is now heading up page 2 here on our FireRed leaderboard. And this is our unlucky 13th challenge in FireRed. But I think this one was actually kind of lucky for us. In the end, we had a lot go our way. A couple of bits of duff luck at the very beginning, but it all balanced itself out. I am really happy with this run, and I am really falling in love with FireRed in a big, big way. So please do subscribe if you want to see more FireRed challenges. Stay subscribed, of course, if you want to see Crystal. It's not going anywhere, I promise. And, of course, if you have enjoyed this video, please do make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. If you want to see these videos a little bit earlier, you can always join the HM Friends and become a channel member. But until next time, I will say thank you all so much for watching. These videos genuinely are not possible without your support. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.